Haven.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's Nighthaven. Dark Zero's a good team, you know, acceptable. The loss yesterday to Mirage on Skyscraper, a little more puzzling, but I think we're just at the point now in the NAL where just about anyone in a best of one can take down just about anyone. The only team without a win, though, like we said, coming in, is Space Station.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Yeah, Oxygen is just a very confusing team, a team that I think sometimes you don't expect them to do well, and then they'll blow your socks off, and then other times you start getting your hopes up for Oxygen, and then they let you down. It's a very weird dynamic that Oxygen has as a team, and I just think that's always really been the case for Oxygen. But one thing that's always certain, they always find their way to the top. You know, they always have been one of the more consistent teams that we have who does make those international events.
Yeah, and I think for Space Station as well, I went back and checked on this. So in stage 1, the Sonics started stage 1, 1-3. And they were still able to push on to the majors. So I think for SSG, not all hope is lost. A similar situation to Wildcard, where the back half of their schedule gets a little bit tougher than the first half. But still, there's still some signs of life here for Space Station, especially if you can come away with just at least a couple points in this. You can get closer to that 6th spot, which is Mirage right now on 5 points, SSG on 2 with 2 overtime losses. So just 1 point here would bring you within 2. That's 1 regulation win and you're past them.
So we head straight for our mid-floor site. Rob, we're going to head towards that train museum. And what is good, the kind of approach of Oxygen? It looks to be a downstairs take, trying to utilize some nades, perhaps. And also another thing that this does is make sure that nobody can drop below for a C4 in Fruit Kitchen. Keep in mind that pretty much the majority of both bomb sites, just a little bit around the edge of the B bomb site, it's all destructible from below. So certainly taking control of below as an attacker is going to benefit you. SSG have really compacted themselves in towards that mid floor and towards the top floor. They weren't really worried about below. Also, not a lot of C4s that you would expect. Maybe, you know, triple C4s is very common for this, just because, again, like I mentioned, you can C4 the plant very easily. But they're going to go for a little bit more control with the Goyo being brought in.
Yeah, trying to hold out top floor for as long as possible, but like you said, OSG evading that for the moment. Fox get taken down from Effecta. There's 2 on the board, but there goes Hot, and Yaga will start things off coming up the brown stairs. I was curious if Ashen, playing over by C1 in Heaven, had heard him shoot the Fenrir Dreadnought mine. Looks like he had. Now Yaga approaching from behind, looking to grab Forest, getting his own Dreadnought mine, has to evacuate after pulling the trigger into Laundry, and Ashen will level us, taking down what was left of Fox. Dream, though, into the bomb site, nearly shoots the Goyo canister, which would have detonated at his feet. prolonged his journey into the bomb site, but now Dream wrapping all the way through. Two members topside. It's Ashen and J9 stuck on each other by the cocktail minibar. Trying to work their way back down red stairs. They will fashion themselves a rotate with the super shorty. Ashen on about 60 HP makes his retreat down red stairs, checking in through pillars, checking underneath new balcony, looking for any OXG member to expose themselves, but none such will. And there we go, the G36s. They reign supreme once again for Oxygen. And they clean that one up nicely on the attack.
Certainly have. SSG losing that first round. And there's 2 points, Rob, that I want to kind of get out of my system about SSG. First point is going to be about the new player. It's going to be about Ashen.
Okay.
This guy has obviously been kind of heralded as your new messiah in this region. It's been a while since you guys have really had a young gun come along. I think probably the last...
yours.
I mean, we had him first, right? But
I would
probably say that the last player that you guys kind of had come through and really hit the ground runner was probably Newers. I think he was the last one you had in. So this is a new batch. The amount of pressure that I think has been put on this guy's shoulders is unwarranted. You know, I think people have put the entire world of SSG on this guy, that he's supposed to make them click. He's going to be the one to bring them all to new highs. That's a lot for someone who's just turned 18. That's a lot for someone who hasn't played at this level of Siege. This guy, we've seen, has played some good games and also a bad game there as well. And I can already see people start saying, oh, he's a bust. Oh, he's done.
5 seconds left.
Everyone has bad games. No one can play as consistently at the top. You know, I look at the two young ones that we had come in from Europe. We had Bench and Spoit. Both of them, sure, great players. We've seen what they've went on to do. I've seen them have stinkers. I've seen them where they've been non-existent. You know, I was actually with a magnifying glass looking for these players. I couldn't find them. It happens, and we shouldn't be putting that pressure on this young guy. Second point about SSG is obviously they had the first week off. People will see that as, oh, that's a massive advantage. You know, these guys get to watch everyone play. They'll come in and they'll start sweeping. They'll know exactly how to play against these sides. The downside of that is because of all the positives I mentioned, that starts to get to your mental. That'll start to affect your gameplay. You'll start thinking, we've had a massive head start. If we don't pick up these points, then, you know, we really have to worry. So I think this is a side that the mental issues may start to develop simply because they had the first week off and they'll think that they're such a big advantage.
Early engagement as Newers will actually bail out of the mining push. Now it's Space Station rotating over to a reading and dining defense, and Newers initially having entry into the mining site. He's going to bail all the way out, hit the roof. G36 partner in crime, Yaga, outside the Pillars door, looking to get in from Snow Balcony, and the Repel in now from Fish. Seen a lot of Twitch lately, and the complete absence of an F2. I don't think I've seen a Twitch run an F2 yet this stage. It's 417, the DMR is really taking over in the meta. This is a good drone worker from Fox A, establishing that there's 3 Space Station defenders, all coalescing by Cocktail and into Freezer. Yaga trying to pinch anyone from the rotate down. J9 taking a little bit of damage as he's trying to move, and see, there he goes, Faults, tries to retreat through white stairs, and a great pickup there from Yaga.
Yeah, that's what you like to see from Oxygen, being able to do the drone work. They're a team that will play very slow if they need to, just to secure themselves the kills. Right now, J90 is playing for his life. He's dead. No matter what, J90 will die this round. It just depends on how many he's going to take with him. That is the real key. Nades aren't going to affect him, as of course he is a Wamai. He can throw them discs out and make sure that he doesn't get naded. It looks as if he threw a disc, which then did get exploded by another nade that was tossed in, and yeah, there we go. Didn't take anyone down with him. Misplaced the magnets. He suffers for it. Not the greatest showing there from J90.
Well, now it's Ashen to play his life topside with a 416 as opposed to an MP5K, and his life was not long for this world. 5v2 very suddenly here for Space Station to work their way out of, and I say suddenly, but there is only 30 seconds on the clock remaining. Houghton whipping out the Supernova, trying to look skyward to collect what's left of Fox A, but would eventually have to retreat back into dining, pushing his way up white stairs, so they have to get aggressive. He'll trade, unfortunately. Now Force on the flank has one by surprise, cuts down Newers, but the plant will be completed by Dream. Default still up in the hallway, relaying some calls to Forest, but there's no one left to revive as Houghton have been cleaned up at the bottom of white stairs. Now Forest trying to retreat his way through 90, loses half his health. There are some good ship damages done to the remaining attackers of Oxygen, but still top floor presence here for Oxygen. Lots of soft breach being done, nowhere to go, and Forest, a desperation attempt, tries to sprint his way into dining, but again, it'll be Yaga to close it out. And Oxygen back-to-back attacking rounds with the mid floor successful.
That looked way too easy, and it shouldn't be that easy. Cafe, Rob, we both know that this can be a treacherous map to attack, where getting into the building is usually the most difficult thing you'll do. But then the amount of angles that you need to clear, the crossfires that defenders can hold against you, it can be just, you know, you can't. It doesn't even put in the words how difficult it can be to really play the attack on Cafe. Auction have made that look so easy. You know, they fired a couple of drones in. They said, okay, there's one guy here. We've got another guy there. Let's just play our crossfires and we'll clear them out. And that's exactly what they did. It shouldn't be that easy. There should be a twist and turn. There should be a, you know, a spawn peek. It feels like a C4 from below. Something that we should be yelling, Rob, that, oh, that's going to be causing them issues. But it's not.
No, these attacks through 2 rounds here for Oxygen just seem clinical, and it seems like there hasn't been a whole lot of resistance off the bomb site for Space Station to put up. Like you say, just melting through this top floor hold. 3 members top side, you don't claim a life for it, you lose all 3, and that's kind of all she wrote. The conversion to the bomb site, you just play your trades. A 5v2, then a 4v1, then a 3v0. And you're happy with that. Dream's whipping out the Montaigne now, so Oxygen trying to continue the sweep of dominance on the attacking side. And Space Station, a little more roam coming out now. J9 and it looked like Faults as well had gathered downstairs. This attack looks to be very bakery focused at the moment, now heading to the roof for a top-down clear.
Top down. That's what they're going to try and look for, quite rightly, Rob. It's, again, very standard and generic, I think, of a side like Oxygen, where they will like to play in with the verticals. We've seen them, obviously, last time they were in Cafe. Ram was an operator that they kind of experimented with, and it looks as if maybe they think, maybe it's more hassle than it's worth. Yes, it's nice to use, but maybe Buck gives them just a little bit more, something extra, almost. So yeah, they're going to go a little bit more of just the standard way of what we're used to seeing. Monty is going to be very strong, Rob, if we're looking at a backside take. You think about that freezer dropping into that kill box can be sometimes a little bit tricky to clear out, but having the Monty, you can drop safely, you can call it some information, and more importantly, it gives you a good operator to get in and try and look for a plant.
Well, it looks like Space Station as well, evacuating the top floor, not looking to prolong the fight here, but they will have to do some damage on the main floor, getting droned out there and trying to re-engage his Faults as Newers is inches away from claiming his life, and he doesn't know it. Good stack there, super shorty. Point blank range from Faults will get the opener. And SSG, like I said, looking to put up a fight here on the main floor, try and slow down Oxygen, make sure they can suppress the transition towards the bomb site, take as many with them as they can, and remove some of that utility.
Yeah, certainly this is what we asked from SSG, was put up a fight, make Oxygen really work for this, and yeah, they've done a great job. 3 kills, it pretty much kills the round. Another one. Oxygen haven't even made it near the bomb site. They haven't even, let alone, made it near the second floor. Wow, SSG, great roam game. Poor from Oxygen, no refrags, nobody that looks as if anyone's communicating where these players were. So SSG, we asked for something, they gave us it.
Absolutely. Thanks for Space Station there. A wonderful bounce back, as it really did look through those first 2 rounds like things were getting out of hand. This could be trending towards another, especially on Cafe. 2 clinical attacking rounds like that from Oxygen just gives you all the confidence in the world that you're going to be able to bulldoze the map. Space Station with a really good fight back there will make Oxygen think twice about that. But that's 1 bomb site. You're going to have to find 2 more that you feel successful on. Like you said, defensive side in Cafe should be leading this game, not trailing it, trying to get back in it. So this is just the beginning for Space Station, much like their position in the standings. Hope isn't lost, but you do have to start getting on a run soon.
I mean, 4-2 is the kind of generic average split that we see on Cafe, so to meet that measure, they need to win the next 3 defenses in a row. That's what they have to do. They've already dropped the ball. They've lost 2 rounds. So yeah, SSG, it's time for them to dig in and really show us what they got. You know, put aside those opening games. Like you mentioned, you know, look at Sonics during last season. They did not look good at the start, but then we've seen them start to grow into that season. There's still plenty of time for SSG to do that.
Plenty of time indeed, plenty of games left on the schedule. They had the entire first week off, so they're a little behind and I guess playing catch up now. Forest, I imagine, looking to go for a spawn peek here, and I think this is something we've missed from Forest, just this very chaotic, rambunctious, but ultimately very successful style of play. Haven't seen a lot of that from Forest so far in these 3 games a quarter now from Space Station. I want to see Forest getting back to that, because that seems to be when Forest and the rest of the team follow suit. They all play it at their best. Forest is kind of loose, having fun, being able to start things off, being a firecracker every round.
see now for Oxygen. Gonna try and play that slow again, and I suppose it's kind of what you have to do on a map like Cafe, where you have to do the basics. You have to get that checklist off. You have to try and clear these different positions. It will look as if they're going to be orientated to a little bit more of a cocktail push, actually. Rob, you can see we've got more nade operators located over towards that side of the map. I'm seeing some footsteps over towards SSG. They may be looking for some runouts, Rob. You're going to see the punch opens up the garage door, but nobody is going to be on the rappels. Nades get tossed in from Oxygen. It's what we expect to see. Then bring in plenty of nades. This has been a kind of recurring trend. And look at this, Forest. Oh, tries to go for the punch out through the garage wall, but there is an air jab ready for that. Oxygen predicting that SSG would try and go for a retake onto the windows.
Well, I want Forest to get more active, and it seems like Oxygen were ready and waiting for such circumstance.
Oh, he's everywhere.
Again, jumping out VIP tables window as well, looking for Newers on the Heaven Rappel. Bolt's trying to catch any, or sorry, Foxay trying to catch any rotations up and down white stairs. And like you said, they were amassing towards Cocktail Windows Rappel for the attack. Now everyone's stacking at the top of Red Hatch, looking to drop down New Hatch with the diffuser. OXG going for more of a split take here. Lots of long sight lines from the repels on Cocktail that SSG haven't been able to deal with so far. Now Space Station just trying to understand where the true attack, where the diffuser is going to come.
Oh, great shot from Dream. I don't know how he wins that, but Jane, I know, absolutely delete it out of the round. Oxygen do maintain that advantage as some kills go back and forth, but Fox has made sure that his team remains in the lead. Foxa now in a great position towards white stairs. That's going to catch some SSG players by surprise. It cuts down a rotation. Ashen, oh, that should have been a kill. A freebie goes lucky, but nobody turns towards him. Dream doesn't care. Ashen eliminates him, and now a 2 versus 2.
Not sure if Dream just didn't recognize that that's where he was being shot from. Now Fish will try and re-engage onto Ashes to recollect the diffuser, but Forrest will drop Newer, so now it's a 1v2, a 1v1. Nice shot there from Fish, but with 7 seconds on the clock, has to get the plant down. Forrest is still downstairs, ripping his way up white stairs. They have red pings on him planting. The intel is there. It's DMR against DMR, and a health advantage slightly in the favor of Fish. Behind the deployable shield that he gets to use. The defense put down in the first place as well. One bullet will end it here onto Forrest. Pistol out, back to the DMR now for Fish. Both having to stick a reload. Fish still stacking right on top of the deployable shield, and he will clutch it out. The 1v2 and the bomb plant himself. 3 attacking victories for Oxygen, looking in control of this game once again. Yeah, that was top tier. Great decision making from 1v2. Isolates both of the kills. Must have been some good information as well being fed by Oxygen, realizing that the last guy is below. He can safely stick that plant because we seen the red pings. They knew exactly where he was. That typically would, jar a couple of players, maybe think, oh, should I be planting here, or maybe I have to play for the kill. No, Oxygen very cool in how they dealt with that 1 versus 2. So yeah, all credit to him. SSG just a little bit closer there, almost got that round. I mean, it's just a straight 1v1 gunfight. Whoever wins the round. You can't really strat for that. It's just you win your ones, you win your ones. But I think certainly this moment here from Ashen, I think the fact that he got the 1 kill, and maybe this is where it does show just that little bit of inexperience. He should be tucked. He should be hiding away. There was 10 seconds as he got killed. He doesn't need to swing. Bear in mind that he should know that Forrest is nowhere near him. He's not going to be there for a refrag. He should just hide. I think there for that round as well, it looked like Space Station were planning for the double flank to come. You could see Forrest stepping in gridlock stinger tracks on the middle of red, narrowly evading the purview of Fish earlier in that round. And you could also see Hot and Cold in the Fenrir downstairs last round as well. So it seemed like SSG planning for the double flank. I believe Fox caught Hotten's flank up white, and then Forrest had to retreat to white as red was completely covered by Fish and the track stinger. So just good game planning there from OXG, like you said, bringing the Nomad and the gridlock, so much flank control. They just seemed to read SSG like an open book in that round, predicting that run out coming from the garage wall. Just beautiful execution, and like I said, 3 rounds in the attack for Cafe for Oxygen right now. This is looking really good.
I mean, whenever you know you're against a player like Forrest who just doesn't stop moving, we've seen Forrest downstairs, and obviously you can say the generic run Forrest run, which I don't want to go there because I'm not a schmuck. I'm not one of these basic casters, Rob. I'm not like an Atero, for example. I'm not about that.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Yeah. But no.
Peek's coming out here, and Yaga will be the first one to decapitate Fultz. Now we'll trade that one back, but more nades coming in as the retreat will have to come from Fultz, trying to aggress onto the heaven window. Drones will come pouring down the skylight. A frag grenade to be evaded again. 2 frag grenades launched in at Fultz, and he's only taking about 10 damage. Some good evasion strategy going on inside a cocktail here, and some good time kill. But finally, the 3rd frag grenade from Foxe now will finally collect the soul of Fultz. Looks like Ashen going to go for a jump out to try and rotate back downstairs. So that was preset there for Space Station. Ashen did not want to fight up top anymore as the lone man, although goes for the rotate and thinking about a red flank at the end of it just in case.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that SSG hasn't brought any nade denial. It's been a very consistent theme that Oxygen have went for is at least 4 grenades every single lineup. And to see just an easy nade kill happen, yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. I'm sure they probably... Do you need the cap can? I would certainly have worked in your Wamais or your Jaegers there in place of that cap can. I mean, if it gets a kill, and sure, you prove me wrong, but you've still lost. You lost the cap can. You lost a player to the nades. I don't even know what that was. That was
an odd play from Ashen, just covering his field of vision, but also exposing his feet on the swing, so you could time it perfectly with the Kiva. Again, maybe just some inexperience peeking on through, but that drops SSG another man. They're now in a 2v4 as Hawkins trying to retreat off the bomb site in through readings. Vert done, and SSG getting pinned down here. Now they're both retreating off the bomb site. So much vertical pressure coming out from Oxygen. He's going to recognize this. He's going to hit that first Capcan trap, so you're right. It might be the difference maker in the round, but the bomb is going down, and both SSG members once again trying to flank and retake into the bomb site. Houghton makes it into dining, takes a little bit of damage from above, and goes sprinting towards 90. We'll hit a nice shot onto Fish topside, and J9 as well onto Dream. Down to the 2v2. This is getting close here, but no, here come Oxygen and collapse. Newers will grab one. It's just J9 in the middle of pillars, and that Kiba barrier still proves to be a thorn in the side of Space Station, as it wasn't able to allow J9 to get the kill on Foxe. Still from above will be the saving grace on that round, and there it is. It's 4 for Oxygen. They're looking like they are in control of this game.
Yeah, it's vertical and nades. That's the way Oxygen are playing this. What are you doing? Why is he trying to? Why is he trying to hit me?
He's doing the Mr. B, Sally. He's cocking back like he's just going to destroy his monitor every time he wins a round.
He's a character, so he is that Newers. He is. And the thing is as well, people don't actually see what he's like outside of the camera. He's even more nuts. I'll use that term. But Oxygen, it's very clean, very clean. It looks so simple. Opening up above, securing the plant, you win. You know, I think that's one thing that's been drilled into everyone's head from the get-go in terms of what we think Perfect Siege looks like. The kind of traditional Perfect Siege, I would say, Rob, that me and you grew up on. You know, you think back to the glory days of, you know, Penta G2. It was always take whatever you want, open up above, go plant, and that's it. That's what it feels like.
10 seconds to go.
I was going to say, when the announcement came out that Ashen was joining SSG and he was just turning 18 in September, I did the math on that because he's got a bunch of Blackhawks paraphernalia in his room. I was 13 when the Blackhawks won their first cup, and he was turning 5. I've never felt so old in my life, but here we are. Like
so obviously, you know that as soon as you said Blackhawk, you lost me, right? Immediately.
Yes,
I thought you were talking about
hockey.
A movie. You know, Manchester United. Is that no? That's mine.
No.
Yeah, you lost me there,
Kitchen
Rob.
defense here for Space Station. We'll get back on track now, and this is the only bomb site the Space Station were successful at defending for this entire map thus far. We'll try and get one back in the board, salvage a 4-2 half as it's not the 4-2 you would imagine. Usually that's going in favor of the defense. Looks like Ashen is going to lose the Yokai. Yokai might not have spotted that there, but that Dreadnought mine will at least salvage his life for now. Witch Drone's doing some good work too from Fish, although you probably would have liked to grab the Witch Drone. This is tough here for Ashen as well, kind of pinned in a corner. He's got the Bearing 9 and the Supernova. So long-range engagement's just about as difficult as using the SSG-11 in that corner in VIP.
Yeah, this position has actually become a lot more trickier with the addition of Ying seeing a lot more play. And the reason being is if you think about where Ashen is right now, he has like a sliver to play in, right? Where he doesn't expose himself to the window and he also doesn't expose himself to garage door. If you know exactly where he's going to be, all it takes is one canister of bees and he's going to be spotted. And there's not much you can do about that. It is going to be a surefire way of getting the pings onto him. I'm surprised that we haven't seen the rotate from the Grim over to actually start doing that. but that should be exactly where Oxygen are looking to do, is utilize those Bs, eliminate Ashen, that player inside of VIP falls, and everything else just goes with it. You see the Bs, look, there they are.
Yeah, really good shoulder check there in the hallway.
Has he not? He missed them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There it goes. Ashen cutting down Dream with the bearing 9, down to about 40 HP, but Fish holding his rotate isn't going to spot him, as Ashen's going to play this for his life. Yakko holding out a little bit longer, narrowly missing the side, the flank of Yaga. He's ducking in and out of the lobby door, just spotting the crouching head for a moment, and Ashen will expose himself to that kill hole in the wall. Yaga will level the man count. Newer's jumping into coat check with perfect purview onto the bomb site, just missing the head of a defender, peeking out of prep, constantly crouching and standing back up as that mirror window is no longer very useful. With Newer's here, able to see the entire backside of it, and it's Fultz crouching inside of prep. Forrest waiting for a push down the hallway. This is getting low on time here for Oxygen.
Yeah, big time. Wasting a lot of time, we're losing out on Dream. Fox is going to try and hit a bit of a backstab towards Bakery, but Forrest is ready for him and has plenty of utility. You can see the Wamai set up. Yaga finds hot and cold though, but yeah, Forrest ready for him, peeks up, Fultz with another. Newer's looking for the refrag, but they know exactly where he is. Newer's has to win this engagement. A pistol comes out, but it's not going to be good enough. A shotgun kill from J90 found the other player beside him. And SSG, they will win out on time. Oxygen, they wasted way too much time, Rob, on clearing out that player instead of VIP, and they didn't even get the Bs in. They fired the Bs, but they missed him.
Very unfortunate there. And I think also just unfortunate as I believe Yaga was able to pick off Ashen and VIP right as the call was kind of made for Oxygen to rotate the push for more of a Bakery clear, because Foxe is the one with the diffuser who solo pushes Bakery double door. The rest of the team eventually gets there, but he loses his life walking into the Dreadnought mine. He can't see the SSG defender playing behind the Bakery counter. So it was an easy kill there. The diffuser gets surrendered and the round kind of falls apart from there. Even when they had the man advantage, they had a 5v3 or a 4v3 in that round at that point. And well, it kind of just goes by the wayside with the diffuser getting dropped and in a very tough spot to recover. But at the end of the day, Oxygen's still playing well. They have to rework some of their basement attacks, but yeah, the other two floors of this map look very strong for them to attack, and now they'll look to defend those sites. As they move on to the defense here, and they're going mining and dining to begin their run to try and close out this map pretty efficiently, honestly. Walk away with another 3 points, and like Jesse said in the pregame, propel their way towards the top of the standings.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good opener, I think, for Oxygen to lay down the marker. This is where we're, first half of the season pretty much done and dusted here, Rob. So, yeah, not too bad. And whoa, that went really high. One thing I will say though about Oxygen is they're a team that, whenever it comes to like big game days, like the big matches, that's where they win. We've seen them do that against M80, and then obviously we see, they can lose to teams such as Mirage, for example. We've seen that happen to them as well. The run of fixtures remaining for Oxygen is up against Sonics, which that'll be a good game. And then you also have Luminosity. So it almost feels as though like Oxygen, Sonics, you would actually fancy Oxygen because it's a big game. And then almost like Luminosity, you can see them beat Oxygen. That's kind of where this team is at the moment, just with stability.
I'd even say after their performance that we just saw for Luminosity against M80, you could definitely say that. Luminosity definitely have a good case to being competitive against Oxygen as well. Depends on the map, but I do like their chances at least hanging. Hotton's going to entry downstairs, much like what we saw from Newers and Yaga on the attack of this site in the very first round from Oxygen. So a lot of bottom-up control coming from the attacking side of both teams so far. Some frag grenades getting sent out from Forrest. One will not connect onto Newers at all, as the deployable shield still stands as well. Evading the flashbangs, one, but here comes the push from Fultz up against the deployable shield, and he wins it out against Newers. Just a slight distraction moment there, and he's able to get the upper hand. So good opener here for Space Station to start their attack. You have more utility to contend with topside as Fish is going to re-aggress.
Yeah, quad trap operators is what Oxygen have decided to rock, therefore forgoing any form of utility denial. Fish is really blocked off that pixel door. Nobody's getting in it at the moment, and he will rotate now perhaps into bathroom, and he should hear that movement. He should hear the player stabbing the keeper barrier, and this should be an easy one for Fish to claim. And Fish, oh, he done this last week and it drove me insane. Oh, Rob,
he's missed him twice.
No.
Oh,
Just
Fultz. Turn the corner. Please don't make this the worst play ever. Thank you. Fish will collect the kill. Asher will trade out Foxay as he pushes into Pillar's door with about 1 HP hitting the goo mine. Fish still has this top control. He is being collapsed upon from inside a cigar and cocktail. Forrest will be the next to take the fight against Fish. Has to answer his phone real quick. Darting around the Kiba, but again, Forrest with a nice shot. It seems like the guns for Space Station waking up in this round. Dream will have a nice vision onto Ash and what was left of him anyway. Damage being done to Houghton, and Dream just can't pull the trigger in time. It's a clean sweep in the end there for Space Station. Quite the... just the saga upstairs for Fish and Fultz. At the end of the day, it's Space Station bouncing back with an attack of their own.
Fish makes me nervous, man. Like, you see, he done it to me last week with some of the stuff he was...
Favor of Oxygen, who started on the attack. They lose their first defense in mining and dining. Good attacking around there from Space Station to start off the second half, and that will force Oxygen to head downstairs. The only bomb site that we've seen be victorious so far.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a safe haven for the defense, and I don't know, I think attackers have a lot of things going for them whenever you actually look at the ins and outs of the site. A lot of vertical play you can have, some great plant positions, which are a bit of, you know, sometimes blind spots almost. You can't really deny it as the defense, but no, hasn't really worked out that way. I like what I'm saying from SSG. This is what I mentioned. Forrest can play these operators, can play the Blitz. Blitz is my favorite operator. So it is. I think I'm in a good position to talk about, you know, the Blitz gameplay.
Yeah.
There's a little thing that people have just seen. You see the way that Forrest is standing with his pistol out? All that does is it means you can't hear a Blitz, which for rushes are so important. You don't hear the clunk. All you hear is just the guy running.
Well, we had a Gone 6 take down front door. We're having 2 Selmas getting caught by magnets early.
He's gonna go wedding.
Yeah, this rush that didn't really look like it was supposed to be a rush, but was supposed to sound like a rush, is not ending up being a rush. So Space Station having to regroup outside a bakery here. And again, like you said, Forrest on the Blitz, he will dictate where the rest of the push goes. I imagine Space Station, after being unsuccessful with those Selmas onto the prep wall, just looking for an opening here, trying to find some ground to get started with. Phone calls ring out, the first logic bomb.
Here we go.
And then here comes Forrest.
Brilliant
Perfect Kiba will slow him down. The ace charge will destroy it for him, so a lucky break there. A second one, I don't think goes quite where you want, but Ashen will grab the first one onto Yaga. The send through prep will again result in the bailout, so Space Station get the opener. They put on some pressure, and they bail back out. I
cannot stress how perfect that Kiba barrier was. Blitz jumping in through wedding, you can smoke off the double door. It gives you just a clear one-way fight to the guy in behind Bakery Prep. You're so close to him once you jump through that window. The fact that he's gone away from that is so crucial. Keeping those amber barriers alive, it's just going to slow down Forrest even more so. So yeah, really, really impressed with that from Fox. Gets themselves out of harm's way, but don't be giving up, Fox. Just chill, it's a Blitz.
It is a Blitz. The second logic bomb will deploy, and there goes Fish, though, trading on what was left of Ashen. It was a pretty close engagement. Ashen was down to about 30 HP. Headshot will make that pretty irrelevant, though. You trade out the life of Yaga, and now an ADS from Forrest is Fish. Will trade one back, but he won't be paying attention. And the push from Foxay, not enough to suppress Forrest's aggression up through prep. Sounds like J9 is down, and he is bleeding out on the floor upstairs. A direct impact here, but Foxay will not be able to continue the fight against Forrest. It's a technical 3v2 here. I imagine J9 could be res topside. Newer's looking in towards prep, and all he sees is the shield. J9's back on his feet, so it's a 4v2. Newer's trying to turn his attention back towards the hallway. Honestly, again, just trying to find an opening. Being pushed out by the skeleton key and the wrap coming down. Being ADS'd again by Forrest. There's just nowhere to go here for Newer's.
Yeah, it's pushed him out. That information that you get from the Blitz, I love the way that Forrest has went from very aggressive to just trying to get information for the players above to make that vertical. They should now know that site is completely clear. They can start pushing and try and get this diffuser down. Dream will try and retake, will eliminate Forrest. Down goes the Blitz, but diffuser will be successful. It will go down. Too slow, no echo cams available for him inside of the site. And now it has to be a 2 versus 3 retake, Newers and Dream, but Certainly Newers is one that we know can pull out the kills when it matters most. Hot and Cold trying to move into an offside position. It will work out. Dream not ready for the creep up. Newers does catch J90 just sitting on his vertical, and Newers, you have 20 seconds to find two. Swings over. He just caught a glimpse, but actually the keeper barrier is working against him for the retake in this scenario. Pre-fires around, but out comes the shotgun from Houghton. The SSG, a very solid attack, and my goodness, it's finally, Rob, we see the kitchen not work out for the defense.
Yeah, an oddly attacker-sided cafe. Not every day you get to say that sentence out loud, but now we're going to have attack timeout coming from Oxygen. So it was Oxygen well in control for the first half on their attacking side, but Space Station rebounding with 2 consecutive attacking successes, either side of a rehost as well. So momentum not really playing that big of a factor. Oxygen going to take a second to regroup and talk it out. And you can see here, yeah, Fish just... Very unfortunate timing is Fox8 was constantly pestering Forrest inside of prep, making sure he couldn't aggress up. And the second Fox8 takes a break, Forrest finds the opportunity and removes the member of Oxygen playing by the kitchen double door. So again, slim margins of timing. Same with that Kiba barrier that wound up on that small bake doorway to stop the aggression from Forrest in the first place. Came out milliseconds before the vault came in. So just perfect timing on that round for Space Station. They come away with it.
Love what we're seeing from SSG, and that is the style of play that fits them so well on a map like Cathay. Using the blitz in great fashion, developing that to take ground, clear out Bakery with such ease, and then using that blitz as an information tool, being able to call out the positions inside a kitchen to the guys above making the vertical. Yeah, I fell in love with that round. I could watch that all day. Honestly, I could.
Just throw it on repeat like a classic and
turn
it all the way back.
That's my siege. It's right up my alley. Love that style of siege.
Well, for Space Station, looking to, like you say, run it back. Keep replicating that kind of success, because, man, it wasn't too long ago we were talking about Space Station not having much leverage in this game, and now here we stand at an even round count, 4-4. Oxygen, again, still on what we would consider the favored side usually, but boy, is it an attacking side cafe today. See if Oxygen can change their destiny here. Try and level out the balance between attack and defense. So they'll head topside, trying to look for some answers after taking their attack time out.
This top floor hold is very interesting considering what is available for the defense. We are seeing them fully reinforce all 4 walls inside a piano, which, sure, that's not a bad thing if you want to try and turtle in. But with the operators available, more importantly, Azami be available, I don't know why you'd go for that. Azami inside of piano is one of the stronger positions we have in the game, let alone the map. In the game, that's how strong Azami is inside of piano, where there's so much furniture that you can place the Kiba barriers on just to create this maze of just barriers that you can't get through is so difficult for an attacking side, but they've forgone that. They've basically said, take piano, we don't need it. We do not need it whatsoever. They're going to try and hunker down, use the Kite Claws, Rob, to just remove access to those squad walls ever being opened up. However, SSG, they have a Thatcher, so that should never come into play.
Yeah, you can see Ashen getting things started here. 1 Selma on the top of red, and they did have vision on Newers roaming around downstairs. J9 upside down on the white rappel as well. Trying to hold for any flanks back, and it is Newers still down by mining. There's a Claymore on his window, the mining window specifically. Prepping a Nitro towards the cocktail window, but the rappel gets off and heads back to the skylight. Try and help out. So SSG employing a little bit of what we saw from Oxygen on their top floor attack, trying to pinch from both sides, establishing some cocktail rappel pressure, but ultimately trying to push the attack across the top floor from Piano and Cigar. Seems like J9 again, establishing vision onto Newers here. We'll spot him. Newers being very careful, very reticent to push back up the white stairs. He is burning a lot of time on the clock, though. He's turned his attention for another flank back up red, and it might be Fox who has to push up white.
I mean, he's waiting below right now with C4. Kill, potentially. Forrest gets things started, and oh, there's the upside down rappel on white stairs. J90, a very patient role that he has to play on, but he does that extremely well. Putting the Yana on flank watch is something we don't see all too often, but J90 is making it work, certainly good enough for his team at the moment. Yogg will respond with a kill before Fox does get eliminated. We've seen him lurking below Force, picks him up, and Yogg all by himself in a 1 versus Force. That's no chance. SSG have just swept them under the rug. No shot at all. Oxygen just so compact, didn't hold any of the top floor. You know, they reinforced it up, and it just meant that they were so claustrophobic that SSG can just put the foot on the neck and just kill it. That's it. The round's done.
This is really impressive. Again, the amount of intel that was able to be established, and when you lose the Solus and the Valkyrie in the ban phase, you know, that's going to make a big difference in terms of how much information you're going to have on the defensive side. I think for Oxygen there's so much intel being gathered against them, and they weren't able to garner enough themselves. They just had no idea where that push was really coming from and where the repels were. You know, 2 deaths downstairs, attempted flanks up the stairs again. I talked about OXG's flank control, bringing the Nomad and the Gridlock on their attacking side, and this time SSG don't bring either, and yet they still come away with pretty much the same result. Very good flank controls there. Like you say, yeah, Yana on a flank control, not the most popular option, but it works out all the same for J9. And for Space Station, 3 in a row on the attack, just 2 away from picking up 3 points, drawing level at 6th place with Mirage and being back in a playoff position after a start they would very much like to forget.
Yeah, and we'll have a little discussion about J9. I know he's a player who I really rate. I think a really solid player, very flexible in what he can do. Great shot on as well. I think he struggled a little bit during the first couple of games. I mean, that's no surprise, but I just feel for a team like SSG and, you know, some of the players that they have, all it takes is 1 win and they'll be off. They'll be off to the races. And certainly right now, it looks a big possibility that this could be it. I think 1 win for SSG will just ignite the flame. It really will.
Well, the game continues to be excessively attacker-sided unless you are defending the kitchen, and even then we've seen that fail once now. J9 looking for the Yokai as it has been pinged out, and there we go. That's 1 Yokai taken off the board. Fox will only have 1 at maximum to his disposal, but again, we're seeing this incursion downstairs. A lot of top or bottom-up pressure coming from both attacking sides. The Forest and Fultz on the Nook and the Sledge, so 4 frag grenades from down below. Dream could be in trouble here. No frag grenade being sent out just yet from Forest and the Sledge. Dream will live to fight another day, just trying to back off deeper into train. We've seen this bottom-up focus from a lot of the attacking rounds so far. Fox taking some damage inside of Dining from these vertical grenades, so SSG getting some good work done. And there it is, Fultz will collect onto Fox. And another one coming up the floorboards from Forest. Won't do the same amount of damage, won't do any damage to Dream, so 1 taken off the board, you lose the first Yokai drone, and you lose the ability to operate the second one.
SSG have been very clean in getting that opening pick. You know, being able to see what they want and then use the utility at their disposal. Both teams have really forgone any denial of nades, and both teams have really suffered for on their defenses. So I think it's a learning curve that both teams maybe want to look at for Cafe. You know, bring the Whammy, bring the Jaeger. You know, it's not gonna hurt you. You know, bringing it, it's gonna save you more than anything. But SSG again in a great position. Oh, look at this, a nice little pocket play. They've impacted Ashen in through, but they did not. Drone Fish, who was at the stage, he was doing a concert. They all turned up and he said, "Go home. It's over."
Well, Fultz trying to take that intel and turn that into a sight push, but Forest as well will try to join him and get cut down by the 9mm C1 in the hands of Dream. Fultz now languishing outside, as is J9 on opposite sides of the map as Space Station's attacking run seems to have come to an end here at the hands of 1 missed drone. Fish, like you said, having a concert by himself on the stage. The drop red, he'll evade Fish momentarily. He's back in the exact same spot, and a 3rd one will die at his hands. There goes Fultz, and Newers will shut down J9. We have a tie game once again. Small mistake and a big punishment handed out from OXG.
Yeah, Oxygen, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. You miss Drone Fish, he steps up. Easiest 2K of the game so far. Yeah, little moments like that. SSG not doing the drone work. I mean, they have the Dokkaebi. Maybe that, where they were relying too much in the Dokkaebi, perhaps, Rob. You think, oh, we'll send the Dokkaebi call out. We don't really need the drone. We can hear them. But, you know, there's quite a distance there between that stage and that rotate hole that was made. He was turned off his phone, by the way, whenever that was going on.
Yep. Trying to shut it off, and there was a yellow ping coming out from the SSG side. It was against that wall. There was a member playing from Oxygen inside of Cigar as well, so I don't know if that yellow ping was for the Cigar
that's
member.
Who he was after. Ashen was directly after that player in Cigar shop. He wasn't after the guy on stage. 5-5. It's a good game. Very good game. You reckon OT? Have we lost them again? We may have lost. Guys, you'll never guess what. The demo show. We're back in business. We've lost them again. He'll be back in a bit, but until then, you get me. You get me. How's everyone doing today? Is that a little bit too informal? I don't know if it's too informal, but yeah. 5-5, close game so far, SSG and Oxygen. It's certainly one that we wanted to see more from SSG. It's a match that I'm sure we all wanted to see. Hey, let's get this underway. Let's see SSG really kick on and make an impact on this league. You know, this is a side that was at the major. They were at the last major. So, yeah, I want to see them do well and get them back up there because they're a good side, good siege, right up my alley the way they play it. So, gonna see if they can look in towards this bomb site, and we'll check. Rob, are you back?
I'm back, buddy.
Yeah, but he's back.
Doing?
It's fine.
Okay.
Demo show first episode went really well. Good ratings.
That's good.
We'll see if we'll be back for another episode. We'll find out. I think that's down to you.
I mean, we're 1 for 1 per map, so you know, bet pretty heavily that you will have another episode coming. Forrest taking some damage on that blitz. Same with Houghton, and here comes Ashen. Down towards the defense, all stacking. He's in the middle of the bomb site, but he gets yokai'd and then cut apart there by Foxay. A nice try, and ultimately not the success you wanted there. Fultz will get one back onto Newers, but Fish will drop another one as well. So it's a 3v4 to work out of here for Space Station. Work their way across the top floor. They tried to sneak their way into the bomb site. It was unsuccessful. Some missed shots there from Fultz. And Fish will persevere on in Cocktail. Maybe thinking about a retreat towards White Stairs. At the very least, will hold down Pixel. Will spot the Zofia momentarily. Cannot find the headshot. And Fish now thinking about dropping out the hatch. Might go for a fadeaway, but he drops just to safety to be smart about it.
Yeah, you should know that you've taken out the majority of utility. There's going to be no vertical gameplay available for SSG, so the best thing to do is just go back to site. That's going to be your safest play. And if you have that man advantage, all you want to do is play safe. You know, you've done the hard work. You've got in front of your opponents. Just keep it that way. 50 seconds. They have a Blitz, which could cause issues. We know Blitz is great in those 1v1s. The best operator in the 1v1 engagements. Forrest, I think, is going to be looking for a plant rather than the gunfights. He will try and get the smokes out, and Impact gets tossed right at his face. He's on the most amount of HP. Is he going to push in to go for the kill? The Echo will try and dip away. Forrest, are you going to go for the plant? Nope, he's all about the kills right now, Rob.
Try and knife away the shield, but the plant was not successful as Fox was able to sprint his way through Laundry and kill the planter. It was just Fultz alone in a 1v3. The plant was millimeters away from getting completed, but Foxay once again with a secondary SMG in back-to-back weeks on the same map will salvage the round for them against a person planting near the end of the round. So a beautiful clutch there again for Fox in a 3v3 that started looking like it was going away from them. And Oxygen now back on map point, and now here comes the tack timeout from Space Station. Try and regroup and push this thing into overtime again.
They've left the tack timeout very, very late on. 6-5. I mean, you've dropped a point already. That's what we have to make it clear on that. They have dropped a point minimum. And maybe they use that little bit of a rehost we had earlier, maybe is, you know, their kind of timeout, but they've called it now on the 6-5. Forrest is not happy because I think probably Forrest, he's probably sitting there thinking, if I just killed that Echo, we would have been in for a chance there, you know, because then you really start to even up the man count. Bit of momentum behind you as a Blitz. You know, Blitz can just go for a 1 kill, 2 kill, 3. You know, that's the way Blitz is. So he's going to be, you know, upset with that. He's going to be kicking himself. But you lose the gunfight, you lose the gunfight. That's it. Go on. Keep moving. It's not over yet. You can still win the game. You can still get 2 points. That should be the focus now.
Yeah. And for Space Station here, it's like you say, it's do or die just to salvage the 2. You can't get the 3 anymore. And you're very, very close, unfortunately, to having 3 consecutive overtime losses, which I'm sure is not the way that you want to start a stage. As Jesse said, as the days go on, your odds of getting towards one of those top 6 placement spots, secure yourself for playoffs. The chances start dwindling and dwindling away. And for Oxygen, again, an opportunity for another 7-5 here on Cafe. A very unorthodox method of doing it with so much attacking victory in this game, but Oxygen nonetheless looking to, again, grab another 3 points, propel themselves into the conversation for that #1 seed with M80 and Wildcard, who have yet to play their game in the season. They'll be after this. It's do or die here in regulation here for Space Station. They're going to bring out the Montaigne, hot and cold with the diffuser in hand. No more Blitz and no more Forest on a shield. He's going to whip out the sledge. This looks to be a back take once again, and this bomb site, they were successful at attacking once before. We'll see if they can replicate that, send us to the last 3 rounds of overtime.
Well, it's certainly going to be a different change of pace for SSG. Bringing in the Monty, it means that they're going to slow the pace right on down, where they're going to look to be a little bit more safer. They're going to look to do things by a step-by-step basis, more so than, hey, we've got a pocket of space here, let's just try and explode into it. You know, the lineup is a little bit more tame compared to what we're used to seeing from SSG. Oh, they've missed the impact EMP, and that is an issue because they have none of those left, Rob. So that prep wall is going to be left reinforced, therefore, that we can still have Fox play in a position where he can assist Fish inside a bakery.
So confused if you're SSG how that happens twice, because the first time you attacked this bomb site, you had 2 Selmas get eaten by Wamai magnets, and now you've had, I believe, the EMPs get eaten by Wamai magnets. So unfortunate there for Space Station, not learning from the mistakes of rounds past, and they'll have to once again adapt or die. This is the do or die round here. Nashon trying to get topside, do some soft destruction. Does have the case as he's taking it off of Hot and Cold's hands. This is a very precarious position to be in. One Nitro Cell or shotgun blast up through the floor, and you're going to lose what's left of your hard breach. There goes the Nitro Cell, but it won't connect. So saving grace there for Ash, and he's able to back away. Forrest will continue to join him and do more soft destruction to the floorboards into the bomb site. To propel a lot of the Oxygen members to try and vacate the premises, except for inside of Rice. Foxe survives the nade on about 40 HP. And that's going to be it. There's no follow-up nade coming. Fultz, though, will grab Dream, and Newers will trade it out.
Yeah, the nade has to be precise to kill a player inside of Rice. It needs to be hit right on the money. You even miss it just by an inch, the guy's going to stay up, and that's going to be an issue because they only have 1 nade left. And if they want to use that nade to go again, then you can't clear out other positions. It may cause issues. In a 4 versus 4 with 30 seconds to go, you still have the Monty, so there is still a way in to gain some information late on the stage without having to go for the drones. But look at this rotation from Fish. This is not going to be cleared. That wedding window has been closed. Fish gets off at the wrong time. There is going to be a free kill walking down red stairs, and now he's doing a tangle with a Monty.
Yeah, that's really tough timing there for Fish again. Does some damage to the Monty, but not enough. And it's just an onslaught now as SSG flooding the bomb site once again. Yaga's gone for the same flank he went for last week, but he's got no one in sight to help him this time around. Has some red pings coming out. We'll do some chip damage. I'm not actually convinced that he hit a single bullet there. So for Yaga here, it's just kill some time. The 1v4 looks incredibly unlikely, especially against the Montaigne. Can't see the diffuser planted, but he's just sending shotgun shells into the floor. A nice reactionary shot onto Forrest, to be said. About 10 HP left, and he does have the hatch 2 drop. He won't get claimed immediately. He's gonna dance his way around the deployed shield of Hot and Cold. But there it is. Ashen will wrap it up, and we will extend here. No 7-5 victory, no 3 points for either team. 6-6 will extend now. See who can come away with 2 points. Both teams have secured 1.
Oh, that moment for Fish again. It keeps happening to him. Oh, guy's unlucky. So unlucky. He made a great rotation into an off position. Wedding window is shut, so he can't be shot from that. He doesn't have to worry about that. If he had just held that angle for a second more, he would have killed Forrest, who actually killed 2 of his teammates that round. But no, he goes for the rotate into Bakery, misses the free kill. Oh, it's... Whenever he goes back to watch this, he'll be thinking, oh, why always me? That's what he'll be thinking.
It really is tragic, and it's just another example of that perfect siege timing, right? You can see the silhouette coming down the stairs, and you're thinking, man, he can just hold out a little bit longer there, like you say. Get that pick. He not only saves 2 of his teammates, but you leave the Montaigne pretty stranded. Just kind of on his own in Bakery with no real gun support. So you're in a much better position there. It's a game of inches, man. A game of inches. And it's just not breaking either team's way to wrap this thing up in regulation. overtime, and to start things off, it'll be Oxygen defending reading and dining to start things off.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
So we've got another 2 rounds guaranteed at least of a great matchup between both of these sides. You know, we've seen that these attacks have been a lot better from SSG than what it has been over the course of their campaign so far inside of the NAL this stage. So, you know, little steps like this, it improves SSG a lot more. And, you know, let's see if they can get 2 points. Let's see if they can get that first win. But knowing Oxygen, they'll be up for it. They want to make sure that they can get that win. Stay up at the top of the table, Rob, because that's where you want to be. You want to be up there and give yourself the best chance you can going into the playoffs, of course.
Top floor control is going to be pivotal here. And you can see a couple of cocktail repels coming out right now for Ashen and for Hot and Cold on the Nomad and the Yana, trying to isolate again any potential movements from the Oxygen defenders. Holding on the top floor, trying to cut off their retreats. Yogg, though, a pre-ripped nitro cell. Gonna launch it straight out towards Houghton, but he's gonna miss by a country mile as it does not connect onto the window frame. It goes soaring onto the snow balcony. Fortunate there for Yogg as he uses the one of the 2 remaining nitro cells. We're going for this jump out again here. It is Oxygen trying to fashion themselves the garage rotate for a run out. But no one's going to utilize it just yet. It's there for later. I'm not sure if there's an air jab placed on there yet again or not.
Deployed.
C4 misses. Oh, a flurry of kills come in. 2 for Oxygen. 1 in return, Fultz. Picks up Newers, a good player to eliminate, but you still don't have the man advantage. The Beast gets sent down, and now Fox is stuck in that corner. He can't cross in towards Laundry, which is a safer position that he would like to be in, but equally, Jane, I know, maybe a little bit too scared here, Rob, not looking to push in down the stairs, and isn't sure if that dining is going to be clear. Fultz finds another. He gets a Goo Mine in the foot, and that's enough for the Capcan to rotate up. Yogg gets a freebie. Fultz can't run away from that one. B-Man walks down, and oh, there he is. Fox, who was tangoing with those bees for a very long time, forced. He was heads up, ready for that Capcan, but still has 2 more to find.
He forgot the diffuser. So Fultz had it inside the reading doorway there before he was shut down and pinched. He's left the diffuser behind. He's retreating to it now as that frag grenade was unable to claim the life of Fox, rotating inside of Laundry. One more nade left. He's pulling the pin, looking for information on where these defenders are, as he does have a yellow ping on a defender top side. The nade goes soaring, and it won't connect, unfortunately. No damage done, so it's still forced alone. And he still does not have the diffuser in hand, so he's going for the frags. He's trying to clear his way through the bomb site. Again, top control, too powerful here. Fox will shut him down, and that'll be OXG putting us onto map point once again.
Good round to get opened up, and I mean, the defense winning, which has been a little bit hit or miss, is certainly one that we have to look at, Rob. You know, that's big. The defense winning, where it has been very attacker-sided, and of course, SSG looking very hot on their attacks as well. So, yeah, all credit to them. And one thing you have to look at now for Auction is it's been a very long time since they've been on the attacks, so they need to kind of get the mentality in check. They need to get things shifted around, and I wonder what kind of approach they're going to go for. Because remember, they kind of had that one round where they had Dream on the Monty, where they were looking more for a little bit more of a faster plant in towards Freezer. Yeah. I wonder if it's going to be that style, or will it be nades, which was the big thing going for Auction in their attacks. Looks to be the case. We see the 2 sets of nades again. But I'm so happy to see, Rob, we have a much more standard looking setup on this top floor. We have a lot of utility denial. All 3 of them. I asked for at least one of them, but we've got all 3. The Azami for piano, and even a Doc, which is going to help massively for the top 4 also.
Yeah, this is quite literally the anti-throw anything lineup from the defense coming out. You've got the Wamai, you got the Jaeger, and you've got the Aruni and the Azami barricades just to suck up even more of those frag grenades in terms of where they need to be used. Got 6 of them, though, coming out from Oxygen, so both teams playing into each other's strengths here. Again, got the Nomad and the Gridlock here, so flank control, the #1 priority. Frag grenades, arguably the 1B priority next to the flank control's 1A. And from there, maybe we'll get a plant going, but this seems like it's going to be one hell of a fight off and on the bomb site.
I mean, this is the same entry point that SSG used was getting the nuke in downstairs below. And there will be some support, and I think they're going to try and go from nades below rather than nades through cocktail. I mean, you've got 2 nade operators ready to go, pushing up in toward red stairs, for goodness sake, so you would expect that something like that is going to be part of it. It looks as if they're just making sure that downstairs is clear before they start moving up towards that next floor, and the middle floor they will start to go, working in 2s, it looks like. We've got a Jaeger down here. Jaeger in reading. Do they know about that? And will Jaeger be eliminated? That's the real question.
So I heard Forrest shooting, and I saw Yaga take damage. I'm not sure if at the same time Houghton got into an engagement. Nonetheless, it seems like Houghton's been droned out now inside of reading the pre-fire. It looks like the shoulder of Newers. Unfortunately, can't find the head, and my God, Houghton still can't find this drone. It's constantly relaying his position. Finally dispatches of the drone that was spotting him. Now as the Rooney Gate gets burned from outside of the pillar's doorway, and for Houghton, he's in some hot water here.
I mean, it's just more the case of how many does he take with him. If he dies, he at least gets 1 with him. But you see the players above also trying to assist him, holding on to that reading door, but there goes the nades. This is a crucial part of Oxygen's, fundamentals, is use the nades, abuse the nades of the map like Cafe. There goes the vertical nades up, but nobody's home that time around. But Oxygen with a minute to go, they've spent so long focusing on that player inside of reading, which, yes, you've killed him, well done. But you haven't even made an attempt of anything else. You've got this behemoth of a maze to go through. This is the real issue, is how do you get through this?
I'm gonna say, it appears as though J90 has built himself the second coming of Fort Knox inside of Piano. Dream on the minibar rappel, but there goes Forrest cutting down Newers. I imagine he was trying to come up a staircase. Fish still trying to utilize those frag grenades from down below, but they have no idea where J9 is. He will now reveal his position, shooting away those track stingers. He'll have purview onto Dream, who's trying to walk into the bomb site, but it's Fox with the diffuser, and there goes Fish. A beautiful shot from Dream, and now it's a 1v2. Ashen alone, but the diffuser tries to come in Whitehall. Ashen would down him off, and the drop has to come through Laundry Hatch, and the timer will expire. Ashen will just survive the clock expiring, and that is Space Station pushing us to round 15.
There we go. All the way. Ashen takes us to it. Round 15 is where we go. I'm really surprised Oxygen were even in that round to begin with. Yeah. We've seen the setup. Was it Dream who killed J90?
Yeah.
I mean, what a shot from Dream, first of all, to even, get in there, but it shouldn't be that close for SSG. With the setup that they had, it really shouldn't be like that. So, wow, Oxygen, scary team. Very, very scary. Hitting their shots, but time being the best friend of SSG. So we go all the way. Another defense win, so overtime has been defender-sided. Let's see if we can make it 3 for 3. Will it be 3 defender rounds in a row? Or will we finally get an attack here in OT?
Well, Oxygen was sure be hoping that the pattern can sustain, and they'll be going to mining and dining defense to round us out. All 15 possible rounds here on Cafe needing to be utilized between these 2 teams. And honestly, for Space Station, the way the game started versus the way the game has ended, you got to be really happy if you're Space Station, even now, regardless of the outcome. The amount of pushback you've put up against a very good team, like I said, is trending towards the top of that table here in Stage 2. But for Space Station, they've already dug themselves a bit of a hole here that they need to get out of. They need as many points to do that as possible. So securing this last round, securing this first overtime attack, and getting both points that are on the table here is crucial. Oxygen just trying to continue the trend. Defense wins in OT. This roam has been very powerful for Oxygen, being able to constantly confuse and slow down Space Station's attacks.
We see a Mira come in, which I don't think we've seen the Mira in this game, to my knowledge. Maybe once was on the kitchen bombs that I think we've seen the Mira, but none really for like the top floor or mid floor to my knowledge. So this is an operator that's very, very strong on a map like Cafe, where it is very open, a lot of long engagements. Mira windows are great for holding that top floor. You can lock down, the entirety of Cocktail Bar, even in towards Piano, if you want to set up there as well. So very, very strong operator to bring in. once again for Oxygen, they are playing with death, with no signs of utility. Look how well that worked out, you know, for SSG. We already seen the one nade kill, and that was even downstairs. The actual upstairs didn't really get touched by that. So they're tangling with death. We've got 4 grenades and 9 flashbangs. That's a lot of damage. A lot of damage that we can toss in.
Oh, and then Nitro Cell will collect 2 from Yaga. Up the laundry hatch, onto the cocktail window. There go Ashton and Forrest. Houghton will try and push his way in, but the damage has been done. The cocktail repel contingent for Space Station decimated and removed from play for the rest of this game. It's a 3v5. They do have intel here onto an Oxygen defender playing inside of Train behind the mirror window. Houghton will jump out and get out onto the balcony, as well as Fultz is going to drop into the bomb site with the diffuser. Misses a crucial first shot. Hits a second one in tandem with the frag grenade from Houghton. Spraying wildly with the bearing 9, but now loses the diffuser inside of Train, and Houghton's going to have to take the next engagement. Downs off Fox, getting shredded from behind, though. J9 drops Newers, and now it's Houghton to try and work his way out of it inside of sight. Gets cut down from above from Yaga, and it's a 1v1 technically, as Fox is still bleeding out, and now it's J9-0 up against Yaga. The diffuser is still underneath the hatch, though. Yaga has the superior angle, the superior position. He gives away his location, doing a bit of damage as J9 hits the Lesion Mine. Fox has dropped the hatch, so it'll be an audio droner for now. Trying to retreat back towards the hallway, towards 90, get back into Train, but again, the diffuser underneath the red hatch. This is critical. He's got to recover it. He could use some air jabs to try and get a plant down. Still a little bit of time left on the clock. He's going to drop an air jab right underneath the hatch, and it's going to get shot out. So now the plant being faked once by J9. Another fake. Trying to stick now as the drop comes out from Yaga. He pulls off the pre-fire, and Yaga will win it. J9 had a moment of a chance, but it's Oxygen once again winning it in the clutch on Cafe.
Oh, so close. The mirror window just